Hello and welcome everybody to the Zero Torque Racing League. We are just a few minutes away from getting to green flag qualifying here at Pocono. Excuse me. Ready to see these drivers battle it out here at Pocono Speedway. This is the second race of the Zero Torque Racing League playoffs. And tonight, there are 4 drivers at risk of elimination, 2 of which will go home, 2 of which will stay in the fight for the title. Playoff system works a little different here. Every race of the playoffs, we have 4 of the bottom guys from the seed standings they had in the regular season. They fight it out for those top 2 spots. The drivers who score the top 2 will move on and continue to fight through round and round till we get to the final race and we crown a champion. Whoever finishes highest is our champion. It's a little different than most series, and it's a made-up one, but we like to be different here in the Zero Torque Racing League. Nonetheless, those 4 drivers are going to be fun to watch tonight. You know they're going to fight for everything. Let's take a look at these 4 drivers and who they are. Coming into tonight's race, the 4 drivers who are going to be on the cut line, who we're all going to be watching is Brian Matthews, Terry Litwiller, David Sharon, and Jeff Lorway. Those 9th through 11th in the playoff standings, tied for 11th with Terry Litwiller and Brian Matthews. Both of them only 1 point behind David Sharon and 2 points behind Jeff Lorway. So tonight, you have to be perfect on your strategy. You cannot give up stage points because stage points will be vital tonight. And for those drivers getting the best possible finish, no mistakes tonight. Don't get in crashes. Don't take yourself out most of all. And go try and get the best.
Sorry, dude, I got
win the race.
Release in the turn on. I was surprised. Man, that thing off. Or I guess it over-rotated.
Sorry about that, folks. Had some technical issues.
All of a sudden, there you were.
And behind the scenes stuff you saw there, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know why I was doing that. I'm not sure why our scoring monitor isn't working quite yet. For some reason, SDK is having some issues tonight. They have an update, and it's just not quite worked for me quite yet. Hopefully, it gets up and running for us before we start and throw the green flag tonight. We're not going to know who's on pole for qual, or I will, but there we are. Practice is wrapped up. Akari Wright will top practice. We have 17 cars in the session. Here we go, getting to qualifying, getting to the exciting time. Still not sure why the scoring pylon is still not working. It's so odd. Blake Hewlett, the number 87 Chevrolet, got eliminated from the playoffs last week out. Unfortunate for the man who came out of that race with a top 5 finish. A great run for him, but it was just not enough to advance and beat those other drivers he was fighting with. And unfortunately for him, he will not continue his postseason triumph. But tonight could be a triumph in a different way. A victory tonight or another great run to build on the second season of the Zero Torque Racing League. And to put some positive momentum in the bank for any other races he does here in iRacing. I'm not sure why the scoring pylon is not working. Seems to not want to work tonight. Oh, there it goes. We're watching as Blake Hewlett rounds into turn 1. Ooh, he slides up the racetrack there. Not probably what you want to do. You want to stay committed to one line. That's going to hurt his mid-corner speed. Look at other drivers here. Here's Dustin Rogerson. Terry Litwiller, a man who is in that playoff fight tonight. He's going to be fun to watch. Akari Wright. He'll be in the fight for the playoffs a little later down the line. Samuel Longworth in a number 7 machine. Robert Tester. Ooh, the number 22 looking different tonight. I like it. Teal on the race car. Here's Mark Kazin, Blake Hewlett in the 87. Here is Brian Matthews. He is running a 28. Is that a Dunkin' Donuts car? Not quite sure what that is. It looks like a Dunkin' Donuts car. Good looking nonetheless. Here's Dean Howard in the Sunoco 8. Excuse me. Blake Hewlett, though. He tops the charts in the first lap that he runs. We look at Frank Chavez, who got eliminated from the playoffs last week. He did not participate, unfortunately for Frank. He won't continue his playoff hopes. Obviously didn't have a chance to really fight for it, but tonight he hopes to fight for a good run tonight at Pocono. The tricky triangle is tricky, though, as Tester goes top of the board almost by 0.3 of a second, so big gaps here in Pocono qualifying so far. Mark Kazin jump up to third there in the 79. Here's Ted Gamble Jr. in the 45. Jeff Lorway, one of those playoff drivers. Rogerson up to third, so the 23 up to P3. And no, Blake Hewlett puts the fight back. He'll put it up to P3 on the board. Still 0.3 off of Robert Tester. So there's time on the racetrack. Look at Dustin Rogerson. He gets into the fence almost. He's going to have to woe it up. Mark Kazin right here. Akari Wright is P2. Make it P1. Akari Wright on pole. Can Robert Tester answer back? Matthews moves up to 7. Can Tester get pole position? He does! Almost by 1/10 of a second. Robert Tester to the top of the charts. Now we'll see David P. Sharon in the 21 car. David Sharon is fighting for a playoff spot. Or Dave Sharon, excuse me. So Dave Sharon is fighting for that playoff spot. So tonight he needs to have a good qualifying effort. He has not made a qualifying effort yet. As Jeff Lorway, another guy, the 9th seed in the playoffs. He'll round into the turn 1 here at Pocono. Let's take an in-car view of a qualifying lap here at Pocono Motor Speedway. Just look at the bankings. You're going to hear him off the throttle. There he is on the power, on the money gas. As Longworth up to P4. Good qualifying effort for the number 7 Red Bull machine. And here we are down into the tunnel turn. Off into corner number 2. See him just play with the throttle. Not very aggressive there. Didn't look like the quickest, but it's definitely safest. Looks like he's over pushing this race car. You see the times in the top 12. All very spread out. David P. Sharon doesn't downshift at all or anything. He'll send it off into the corner. Now there he goes, full throttle. And what can Jeff Lorway do here? Can he improve his time? Move up a spot or two? He improves but does not go up a spot. Here is David P. Sharon. He will downshift entering turn 1. Gets it woed down. He's back onto the gas here. Now I'm watching him down this. Here's Dave Sharon, a playoff driver entering this race in a different paint scheme. That Moon Pie machine back out here again. Looking good, looking good. Didn't get to see it very much last weekend at Michigan International Speedway. But he was able to squeak through the playoffs into the next round. And, well, he's here. And Ron Millam, a man who had an amazing run last week. Ended up P3. Didn't interview him. He said he was rewatching the race, but hey, that means he's preparing for this week. But can Ron Millam have back-to-back weeks of good runs? We're going to see in qualifying what the run could be. Qualifying for the 47 team this year has not been the best. That has been their weakness, and so far it looks to be continuing. 12th on the first time. Here comes Dave Sharon trying to set the pace for him. Wants to sit it in the top 10. P8 for Dave Sharon. That's not going to improve either. He is done with qualifying. Here is Ron Millam. Down the back straightaway. David P. Sharon through the tunnel turn. See Eric Johnson on track. Jason Steptoe in the 50 jockey machine. He's back out there making his first run of the evening. Here is the... Oh, look at that. That is a good looking scheme from Drew Kuhn. He's looking all sorts of out of shape off of corner number 4 there. Here comes Ron Millam to the line. What can he do for a qualifying effort? Kuhn goes 14th. Can Millam improve? Only to P12, a second off the pace tonight. Guys are struggling to find speed as here comes Drew Kuhn into turn 1. See David P. Sharon as well. I'm not sure if he's even completed a lap. He's been out there for a while. Might hit the wall on both his laps. Jason Steptoe as well out here qualifying. He goes through the tunnel turn. Looked very committed there. Roll bar. Camera in here as we go into turns 3. Even dive it off in there. That is a very good corner. Oh, I just need to gas up a little earlier, but it's going to be still a good exit here for the 50 car. What can he do? Where can he put his 50 jockey machine? It's P4. 4th into the top 5 goes Jason Steptoe. And he's got a purple sector 1 so far. Can he improve on that? Well, that's Eric Johnson who has it. And Eric Johnson on pole. The 18 Toyota to the top of the charts. We're not done though. Jason Steptoe could have something to answer. They're the only two left to qualify. Steptoe, personal best on the first half of the racetrack. Can he do better through the tunnel turn? It's a lot of speed lost and gained here. It looks sporty. Can he continue this momentum? Johnson just barely edging out Tester for pole. Tester yet again is going to play second fiddle. And here comes Jason Steptoe. What can he do off of corner number 3? Can Jason Steptoe put it on pole? He'll improve, but won't improve his position. Very good job improving, though. Here comes Eric Johnson. He's looking to improve on that pole time. He does improve on that pole time. At least it looked like it. Maybe not. Either way, he's on pole tonight. David P. Sharon is out there just, I think, practicing. Qualifying should be wrapped up as all 17 or 18 guys have at least made an attempt at qualifying. David P. Sharon not able. Oh, here he is right here. 4-minute qualifying lap. But right now, as it shakes out with those 4 drivers on the cut line, the highest of those 4 is going to be Dave Sharon, I believe. No, Litwiller is behind him, Matthews is behind him, and Lorway is behind him. So Dave Sharon in P10, and then Litwiller and Matthews right on his heels. Lorway, the man with 2-point advantage over 2 of them and 1 point over the other, starts the deepest. And a good 5/10 off their time, so you're going to hope for his sake that this kind of speed doesn't carry into the race and he actually can improve on his race pace compared to his qualifying paces. No one is out on the racetrack right now. We are all wrapped up, it seems, for qualifying. And that is it. Qualifying's over. Eric Johnson's your pole sitter. We have 80 laps tonight at Pocono Motor Speedway. A stage break at lap 50, so the fuel situation should be a fun one to watch around here. And we'll see if that's going to play a factor tonight. Will we have a fuel mileage race? Usually this track, I know it's really tight, close quarter racing a lot of the time, especially on the short runs, but you don't see a lot of cautions. It runs clean and green until, well, they get really aggressive at the end, and maybe we start to see them pile it up. But once you get kind of strung out, it's kind of hard to wreck here, it seems like. The car's just really well planted. Cautions don't come out, obviously, if you're off the racetrack, but we'll just have to see tonight if this is going to be the type of race where we see a bunch of cautions, or we have a race where we're going to go run a long green flag run, and we'll see pit cycle with the fuel and how you won't go a lap down here as long as you're not too far back. I mean, it's going to be very interesting tonight. Obviously, Robert Tester is your outside pole sitter, as Eric Johnson snatched it from him. Dustin Rogerson, Akari Wright is P2. No surprise there by any means from the top few guys. And Jason Steptoe in 5th, a very good qualifying effort for the 50 jockey machine. Samuel Longworth in P6. That's a good run for the 7 Red Bull machine. Looking to actually improve on a good weekend at Michigan. Some solid pace there. Blake Hewlett, a great weekend at Michigan. Looked like a contender out there. Wasn't able to complete it completely, but P7 tonight, starting out, is not too bad. Mark Kazin in 8th. Ted Gamble Jr. will start in 9th, just inside the top 10, as well as Dave Sharon, your leader of the 4 playoff drivers who might have a chance of being eliminated tonight. Terry Litwiller will sit right behind him as the cars are about to get rolling. Mark Kazin, Dustin Rogerson will start from the pit lane. Eric Johnson is not out there either. He might start from the pit lane as well. So we don't see the pole sitter. Multiple cars will start from the pit lane. Rogerson. Whoa, 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 whoa. Eric Johnson, Rogerson, Mark Kazin, Drew Kuhn, all will start in the pit lane. So now your de facto pole sitter is Jason Steptoe. Was solid in qualifying, just another 10th. He'd be P2 or 3. So this 50 car is no slouch. So tonight, who do we see take the checkered flag? Last weekend, Robert Tester had the air taken off his left rear spoiler. He pushed up the racetrack and into the fence, ended his day. Thankfully for him, he's not at risk for elimination in the playoffs, being a high-seeded driver tonight. But nonetheless, losing a race like that looked like you were in control has got to hurt. And you know he's thinking about last week and thinking about how he can make up for it tonight with a checkered flag at Pocono. It's one of the most exciting, action-packed racetracks out here. It takes a lot of skill. It's a lot of fun. But tonight, we're going to see which driver in the Zero Torque Racing League is going to conquer Pocono in the 3 tricky corners of the tricky triangle. Off of corner number 2, the pace truck is going to pull off to the left down pit road. Jason Steptoe, the de facto pole sitter, leads them to the green flag. We're racing at Pocono. Down into corner number 1. Big shoves from the outside lane everywhere. Look at Eric Johnson. Is he actually ahead of everyone? It says we're on lap 3 already. I'm very confused on what's going on with the scoring pylon. As Jason Steptoe leads us into the tunnel turn. Coming, oh, looky there. Cars going wide into the fence. That's Ted Gamble Jr. up and slow down the, I believe that's the short chute. I'm not quite sure. I forget these names. Long Pond's the other one. Is here comes Jeff Lorway on the aggressive charge up into the top 10. Up to P9. Lap 2 will start now. I'm not sure why it says lap 4. That is not correct. It still says lap 4. I'm not quite sure why that is. As we look at Jason Steptoe, who leads them down Long Pond straightaway. He has the lap car of Eric Johnson just ahead. Whoa, Tester all over the back bumper. Here comes Akari Wright. Everyone closing on the lap car. They're almost 3 abreast. They are 3 abreast. Caution is out. Steptoe about lost it entering the corner. What was the cause of the caution? Might be the confusion on why we're on lap 5 of this race already. And what is going on with the scoring pylon? It's saying every car has crashed. And Ron Millam is down pit road. What is going on? What is happening? Said something with Ron Millam. He did have damage there. See if something happens here into the tunnel turn. Into the tunnel turn, side by side with the 21. Oh my! He just gets ran over by Dean Howard. He was slow on the racetrack. I mean, Ron was very slow, and the 8 just wasn't expecting that big of a checkup. And there we go. The scoring pylon is finally actually right. Ron Millam, after a great weekend last weekend down pit road, I mean, that's heavy damage. I'm just very confused on what was going on with the pylon there. Everyone was really aggressive, and Eric Johnson's apparently your race leader, even though he started from the pit lane. I'm not sure how that works out, and I don't think that's very fair. I don't think you should be guaranteed the lead because you start from the pit lane. Doesn't seem very fair to me. And Eric Johnson will pit there. Here comes Robert Tester, Akari right. Jason Steptoe fakes, and he will get there. Robert Tester trying to get all he can, entering pit road right there. Jeff Lorway, he's going to stay out. Blake Hewlett's going to stay out. That's what I like to see, some gambles from these guys. You definitely can't make it on fuel for the rest of the race. Ted Gamble Jr. will stay out as well. So we have 3 cars on the racetrack staying out. What do these other cars do? I wouldn't imagine you take tires. I imagine it's just a splash of gas and you go. Don't miss your pit stall. We're going to see right here. There goes Jason Steptoe off pit road. He gets it rolling. He might beat out the 18. He does. Good job, 50 car. Getting that car packed full of fuel. There's Eric Johnson, Tester, Akari Wright, Longworth, Sharon, Matthews, Chavez. There's Drew Kuhn and Dustin Rogerson. I'm just very confused. Why the 18th so far up when he started from the pit lane? It's just very odd to me. But either way, Blake Hewlett's your race leader. We are under caution here in the Zero Torque Racing League. Looking to get back underway. An early yellow, which saw Ron Millam slowed entering the tunnel turn, not able to react in time, was the 8 of Dean Howard, who is down pit road right now, probably repairing some front end damage. Ron Millam has at least 1 lap down, possibly 2. Heavy damage for him. Dean Howard, 2 weeks in a row with some unlucky results there. Hopefully Dean can get back on the racetrack, stay on the lead lap, and stay competitive. You don't want to see that so early on tonight. Lap 2 or 3 of the race. Nonetheless, Blake Hewlett, Jeff Lorway, Ted Gamble Jr. is your top 3. Jason Steptoe. So, talk about this. All cars in the top 4 have never won a race this season and have never won in the Zero Torque Racing League, as here comes more cars down pit road. Excuse me, it's just, throat's very dry. We're going to get them lined up 2 by 2, though. Blake Hewlett is going to be your leader. What a different set of faces we have up here as we see most of the field. Oh, there goes Robert Tester missing his pit stall. Doesn't really cost him, luckily. I love the gambles from some of these drivers, like Jeff Lorway. What does he have to lose from coming out here and staying out on the racetrack? He gets track position. It's hard to pass here. Eventually the long run will kick in. Faster cars will go to the front, but on the short run, as long as he's able to keep pace, make minimal mistakes, he will be there. He will get some track position, maybe on the guys he was behind, like Dave Sharon, Brian Matthews right by him, and Terry Litwiller, the lowest of the bunch of those few. He needs to get up there. It's early on, though. We've only had, what, 1 or 2, 1.5 laps of green flag racing tonight. And a report on Dean Howard. He is back on the racetrack. He is on the lead lap. He will continue to be in this race in a competitive manner, it looks like, as long as the damage isn't too severe. Go check out our sponsors, everyone in the Zero Torque Racing League sponsors that make this possible. Go to W Energy. Use code SQ187 for 10% off your order at checkout. Let's get rid of those sponsors, though, and let's get back on the big focus of the evening. That's the racing. And Blake Hewlett, he's never won this season, He's going to lead us back to the green. Lap 5. Green flag flies again on the speedway in a big, big launch for the 87. Some of these guys never up front that much compared to the others. And you saw the experience. Here comes Akari Wright slicing through the field. Jeff Lorway going backwards. Here comes Steptoe, middle of 3. But Lorway will have some momentum off of corner exit. He's going to get a slight push from the 50. Entering the tunnel turn, Steptoe is going to look to the inside of the 71. He won't get there. Ted Gamble Jr. up the racetrack, made some mistake. And there comes Akari Wright. Oh, he wasn't able to get to the inside of the 45. Here comes Steptoe. Like I said, very hard to pass here at Pocono. And look at the 71. Big run off of corner number 3. As Blake Hewlett's gotten a 6, almost 7/10 of a second lead. Great restart for Blake. See Tester back there trying to make a pass. On, I believe, Frank Chavez for 10th. Whoa, Lorway almost out of shape through corner number 1. But look at him. He's looking to the inside of Akari Wright. Never mind. Here comes Steptoe to his outside. Longworth not there on the racetrack right now. Blinking in and out of existence. Oh, there he is. Samuel Longworth back into the top 5. But for Jeff Lorway, this has worked out still. He's ahead of the other guys, but here comes that other guy. Here comes Dave Sharon. That's someone he cannot let by. That's one of those guys he does not want to see beat him tonight. One is enough, but you don't want to give up any points to anyone tonight. You don't want to give up these stage points, and later in the race you beat him in positioning, but because of these stage points, you know, he gets you at the end of it all when it's all said and done. See Jeff Lorway up the racetrack. Really poor corner there for the 71. He's going to get a big run to the 4 car, to his inside. Big side draft. And here comes Dave Sharon to the inside. He'll make that pass. So Sharon, oh, not quite. He's on the apron there, all out of shape. Here comes Johnson with a big old run. He's going to split it 3 to the bottom. That's going to be tight, and Jeff Lorway might have to back out as here comes. Oh, never mind. Jeff Lorway sends it deep. 3 wide through turn 3, and Dave Sharon with the run. My, oh, my. Brian Matthews with momentum. Lorway continuing to drop back. Matthews on the outside looking at only 1 point behind the drivers in front of him tonight. Entering this race, which was Lorway and Litwiller. Or excuse me, Sharon was in front of him as well, only by a singular point. Litwiller back there in 15th, struggling right now. Matthews up in the P8, having a good run so far for himself. In this battle for the playoffs, Jeff Lorway looking to lose more ground here as the 22 looks to his inside. Setting it off in the turn 3. Turn 3 seems to be the best corner for the 71. He seems to have that one pretty well down. I mean, he's still getting beat. Oh, is Dustin Rogers into the fence right there. Got a big swath of dirty air off of corner exit. Didn't lift at all, and only pounded the outside wall pretty good there. A little pancake, a little touch to the outside fence. Ron Millam is on the racetrack back there, 6th down, as Blake Hewlett, he's pulled a 7/10 of a second gap as we see Akari Wright way up the track. Jason Steptoe, this top 5 has put a pretty big gap to Dave Sharon in 6th, Eric Johnson 7th. That's what I'm talking about with track position, folks. Track position is the name of the game tonight. As you see Ted Gamble Jr. work his way down the back straightaway. Entering turn 3 now, Ted Gamble Jr. starting to pull a little bit on Akari Wright. As Wright has a full mirror full of Jason Steptoe. Steptoe just not able to complete the pass. We're already 1/8 of a way done with this race. Rather short race this evening. 80 laps at Pocono can go pretty quickly when it's all said and done, as long as there's not a bunch of yellows tonight as the 50 had to check up off of corner exit off of 1 there. See Johnson, he caught the 4 car relatively quickly there. So is the 22 reeling him in. Nonetheless, Dave Sharon's got something to fight for tonight. He is the highest running guy who could be eliminated tonight in the playoffs, so he's got to fight for this spot. He cannot give it up. And the 18's all up his rear. These points matter. Johnson and Tester are obviously quicker right now, but he can't give up these spots. He knows how important track position is tonight. We've seen it as Matthews gets passed by Rogerson back there, and that's less points for Matthews, who was up in 8th just a few laps ago. Look further up here, man. This is a crazy fight as they have ran down Blake Hewlett. Ted Gamble Jr. to the back bumper. Here comes Akari Wright. Everyone with a run, a bump to the 45 off of corner number 2. Right with big momentum. Here comes Jason Steptoe trying to help someone here. The 45 still going to be there entering the tunnel turn. Ooh, that's going to be tight. Steptoe with a really good tunnel turn. He'll get to the outside of Ted Gamble Jr. And it's so tight right there, but he'll be able to squeeze on in. See it there, Ted Gamble Jr. gets way tight. He'll have to get out of the gas. The worst possible corner to get out of the gas. The longest straightaway in NASCAR. And the 45 is going to give in here. Here comes the 7 as well. I'm not sure why he gave in. Nonetheless, he does. And Blake Hewlett's now got the 1 car of Akari Wright charging him down. Big run off of corner 1. I think a mistake from the 87 and a perfectly executed corner for the 1. Clear up and clear to the race lead. Jason Steptoe reeling him in as well. As we look down the back straightaway from a fan's perspective, what you'd be seeing, or as a spotter, as here comes Steptoe. Was looking inside right there. Johnson gets past Sharon further back. Sharon in the fence. Here comes Tester. I believe Tester might be around. No, he's not around, but he is slow down the front straightaway. Rogerson gets by. I saw him get real checked up. As Steptoe clearing a second, Blake Hewlett's lead has been lost. The car's handle has gone the way of the dinosaur. It's gone away as the 7 almost into the fence trying to get around him. He'll get to his outside there, though. Samuel Longworth having the run of the season for himself. Seems like this kid just continues to get better and better every race we go to. And it's just baby steps, right? You have to realize you aren't just going to get good at this immediately as he gets real close to the 50 car there through turns 3. Excuse me, my lord. But this kid has had some really good showings the last few races, and he's had some pop-up runs. He just needs to put the full race together, and he can be a contender tonight as Akari Wright leads this race over Jason Steptoe. Longworth in 3rd like we talked about. Blake Hewlett still is in the top 5. Gamble and Johnson side by side for 5th and 6th. Dustin Rogerson has passed. Where did the 4 car go? Dave Sharon down to 11th and out of the points. So now he is losing stage points to the 28 and the 71. And the 71 already had a point advantage, but the 28 will be even with him now on points. Or actually will be ahead of points. So this is not good for Dave Sharon. He needs to get back in the top 10, at least get by Lorway. So you two are tied. Litwiller doesn't seem like he'll be much of a factor tonight off pure speed, but some good pit calls, maybe just getting better throughout the race, could put him in this one. As Wright is getting a big run. Here comes Steptoe. Look how far back Johnson is. Akari Wright all the way to the fence. He likes that high line, but Jason Steptoe wrapping the bottom. He'll draw in front of the 1 off of corner 1. They're side by side. They're going to slow each other way up. Here comes the 7 of Longworth. The 50 car still there, entering the tunnel turn. He'll have momentum. Good side draft. Good late side draft. Can he keep it up? Oh, they're still side by side. This is going to be a tough pass. Longworth's like, where do I go? Who do I help? Or do you take it 3 wide bottom? Longworth got real loose off of corner number 3 there. Big side draft coming from the 50 car. Before we enter the corner, here it comes. Big side draft slows him down. Moves up the racetrack, trying to take the line away. Whoa, a big pinch from the one of Akari Wright. That might be all she needs, though, for the 50 car to clear up, and it is true. The 50 cleared to the race lead. Jason Steptoe started on the de facto pole, now takes the race lead on the racetrack. Now Akari Wright trying to get that back. He'll slide up, though, off of the tunnel turn exit. And look at the 7, just absolutely sending it. Gets to the outside. Got a little fence rub, but who cares? He's clear. He's going to clear him off of corner 3 here. Great move. Samuel Longworth on the charge. Rogerson further back. Trying to fight Ted Gamble Jr., who's just making it so tough for these guys. He's not giving an inch, and I love that. Ted's a guy who just does not give up. And he is the highest running guy of those 3 that stayed out now, as Hewlett and Lorway's way back there in 9th now. He's talk about someone who's falling back. Robert Tester, what has happened to Robert Tester? He's down to 12th, struggling. Looks like there's some front nose damage on that race car. Looks a little crinkled. That could be the cause, or maybe a poor handling car overall. We're not sure. As Steptoe now has a mirror full of Longworth, who wants the race lead. A lot of wall contact, though, for Longworth. Gotta watch that, man. You gotta not slow yourself down. He can taste. Taking the race lead off speed is no better feeling in the car. And right now, he is without a doubt the fastest man out there right now. As we see a car around, Drew Kuhn around on the front stretch. Minimal damage for that machine. What happened, though, is the real question. Let's take a look at it here. Just gets in the fence, or tries to get off the fence, and Drew Kuhn goes for a little spin there. No harm, no foul. I mean, it's going to be some damage, no doubt. But not a big amount, I would presume. You know, watch it from... Get the chase view of it here. See him, he's out of gas right there. Gets in the fence and just overcorrects. Ooh, that might be a little... It looks like the toe's okay. It looks like it's just the front end. As long as the toe's not bent out of shape too badly, that should be an okay race car still for Drew Kuhn. Robert Tester's happy to see that yellow. He was struggling. I'd love to see... Yeah, there is a crinkled front end for the 22 car. It might have been for when he almost spun out or got into the back of the 1 race car. I believe that was Jeff Lordway or Blake Hewlett. Or no, Dave Sharon. I believe that was the car he was catching, the Moon Pie number 4 Ford Mustang. That was the reason for almost the contact, as we're on lap 20 of this race once we come by, so we're almost a quarter of the way done already. Going pretty quickly tonight. Just our second caution. A simple lazy spin off of corner number 3. So we're averaging a caution every 10 laps. Not the worst so far. Jason Steptoe, your leader. Longworth, Wright, Johnson, Gamble, Rogerson, Hewlett, Lorway, Kazan, Matthews rounds out your top 10. And Lorway, after just dropping back like a rock early in that run, back into the top 10, back up into 8th. Good rebound for the 71, who looked horrible in qualifying too. That is a good drive so far to make his way through the field. And will be sitting P8 right now. That's a great job. Mark Kazan hasn't done a lot tonight. Running in the top 10 and 9th, but haven't heard much of him. Haven't really seen him pass too many people. Just been quiet night so far. As we see the entire field pull it left to the pace car. Or opposite of the pace car, excuse me. And they're all going to pit here. Dean Howard might stay out. Dean Howard's not on the racetrack. Ron Millen will pit. I'm not sure why Ron pits. He should have probably stayed out. See if Jason Steptoe is able to hold the lead. Can the pit crew do its job? The 7 of Longworth. Oh, you can't overshoot the box. Robert Tester overshoots the box. Everyone is. And there you go. The 18 takes the race lead. I'm assuming that's a little bit of games on the fuel tank then. Or the tires. Rogerson third. Fourth is Longworth, even with missing his box. So, some good luck going his way. Mark Kazan up to 5th. Car right 6. He's down a lot of spots. Ted Gamble Jr. Terry Litwiller up to 8th. Some games being played on pit road. There's Blake Hewlett in 9th. Brian Matthews stays where he came in pit road. 11th is Jeff Lorway. He loses 3 spots. Frank Chavez, Robert Tester. Going to be behind Ron Millum. Dean Howard, excuse me, is out of this race apparently. Ron Millum continues to be 6 laps down. Dave Sharon down pit road. Drew Kuhn, David P. Sharon off pit road. So the Dave Sharon, I'm not sure if he has damage. Maybe that is why Robert Tester had damage. He had damage. I'm not quite sure why the 22 has damage. Let's see if he still has it. No, it's all fixed for the 22. That might have been the issue. I mean, he was going to the front and then it just was done. Over with. Felt like he hit a wall. As we're going to see if these guys go down a lap. Hopefully, for both their sakes, they don't. The 4 car, well, he started to roll there. He didn't get rolling, though. Go, buddy, go. Mark Kazan's down pit road, so I'm assuming he's going to try and make it to the end here. 39 laps to the end. That's a long, or 29, excuse me. That's probably possible. See Dave Sharon off pit road. He will, and Drew Kuhn will go down a lap. Luckily for him, there's only one other driver down laps. That's Ron Millum, who's 6 down. So as long as he doesn't go too many down, he should be okay. Mark Kazan down pit road. He's going to top it off on fuel here. Eric Johnson won the battle off pit road. Jason Steptoe 2nd. Rogerson 3rd. Longworth 4th. 5th is Akari Wright. 6th is Gamble. 7th is Litwiller. Litwiller finally in a position. He scores some stage points. Hopefully with the track position, he's able to keep it and run up front. Run some better lap times with some faster cars around him. There's Mark Kazan in the background coming up and catching the field. David P. Sharon down pit road as he misses his pit stall. Never mind, he's getting rolling again. There's Dave Sharon. David P. Sharon, though, he needs to get the hustle on. They're in the tunnel turn, so we got to get going a little quicker here. Don't want to be too far back. Not have enough time to catch the field. Get up through the gears. There's Dave Sharon. He's at full speed. He'll catch him for sure. 21 might not catch him in time. So here he goes. He might. No, I don't know. We'll see. As here we go, folks. We're about to go back green here in the Zero Torque Racing League. Johnson, Steptoe, Rogerson, Longworth, your front 2 rows. Who gets the best of everyone on the restart? Green flag is out. Good push from the 7. That might have crinkled his front end. The 7 has front end damage from that contact. Johnson's clear and into the race lead. Not quite, maybe. Steptoe trying to fight it. Rogerson trying to clear up. Whoa, that was tight. The 50 cut him a break. And then he gives a push to the 18, his teammates. I mean, that was some risky business right there. I mean, that was the 50 had to check up or they're going to wreck. An aggressive move for lap 20 of the race, lap 20 or so, but nonetheless, he gets him into P2. And all up the bumper of Eric Johnson looking for the race lead on his teammate. Big run off corner 3 here. Watch it. He's going to have a big suck from the draft down the front stretch. A wall contact there.
All right, man.
Caution is out.
Caution is out.
Brian Matthews is around. Terry Litwiller involved. 2 playoff drivers. Caution off of corner number 3. You could hear the tires squealing and all that, so we're going to have to take a look at it. Off of corner 3 here. Everything's okay so far. Oh my. Blake Hewlett hits the fence, comes across, collects the 67 or 69, excuse me, then the 28. Oh, Blake. That's a tough one to swallow if you're the 69 and the 28. Didn't do anything wrong there. Blake Hewlett continuing to crash. That, I thought I was about to say he doesn't have too much damage. That might be pretty severe. You look at Brian Matthews. He might not have too much damage. He might just be a little cosmetic. We'll see it from another point of view here. Ooh, that was a pretty hefty hit. The wall hit's not too bad. And good job. This might be the move of the race of Jeff Lorway, avoiding 2 of your rivals in the playoffs, crashing and spinning around and getting around the 87, who's out of control with no damage, no hurt to your tires. Great job. Dave Sharon far enough back to avoid it all. David P. Sharon as well. I mean, these cars should continue fine. As this, hopefully for their sakes, they don't have too much aero damage with such a high speed, fast racetrack. As there we go. Jeff Lorway stays out. Dustin Rogerson stays out. Drew Coon's going to get the free pass. He'll be 1 lap down now. Ron Millam in the 17th position, 6 down, hoping that those free passes weren't being used up right now from another driver. There goes Johnson off pit road. Here comes Steptoe off pit road. Akari Wright. No, Robert Tester jumps Akari Wright. Ted Gamble Jr., Frank Chavez, Longworth, Kazin. And Longworth did get that front end damage repaired. That crinkled front end. That seems to be a hurt of the race car. Blake Hewlett still down pit road. There is David P. Sharon off pit road. We're going to see if these cars are able to get back out there and able to be competitive tonight. The 28 and the 69. If they look pretty good, they'll be in the race, but just hopefully for their sakes, they're going to be good tonight. Jeff Lorway stays out again, trying something different in the strategy. I like it. Even with some good luck and good fortune for himself there. All 3 of his playoff contending drivers are down pit road right here in this one shot, this one image. Blake Hewlett, tough break there. I mean, it definitely caused a big mayhem down the front stretch with the car contacting the outside wall. Nothing on purpose there or malicious. Just couldn't keep it off. Once he got on the fence, he just couldn't keep it straight. Came across the racetrack, collected the 69. The 28 had nowhere to go. Could not get it rolled down in time. Off of corner number 4. There goes the 69. He's off pit road. So Litwiller will continue in this race. There comes the leaders off the corner. Brian Matthews still down pit road. He might. Oh, no, he's rolling. He's rolling. So Matthews back rolling. Mark Kazin's down pit road. Eric Johnson from the race. From the first driver off pit road. Down pit road. Guys wondering if they're going to make it on fuel. There's Brian Matthews. Rogerson's your race leader. They are on 1 to go on the pace truck. There's Eric Johnson. He's going to take a splash of gas, I would presume, and go. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to get back rolling here. Mark Kazin, David P. Sharon. Here's Brian Matthews and Terry Litwiller. Litwiller's car looks good. Matthews with a little bit cranky. Oh, that car's not good. Oh, yeah, that car's not good. There is something broke in that race car. We're going to look at the cockpit view. Yeah, something's not right for that 28 car. He's going to hope for some yellows to repair this thing. Unfortunately for Brian Matthews, not much he can do. When they wreck, oh, yeah, he's having it. It's not the worst. Definitely can get it fixed. Just need to be patient here. Think long game. You still have a guaranteed caution at lap 50. Just don't go a lap down. Still in the hunt here, Brian. Don't count yourself out, Brian. You're still in this, bud. Hopefully for his sake and for his teammates and everyone, he can continue fighting it out here. Brian is not done. He's not done at all. Don't count him out. Is Dustin Rogerson is your race leader, Raceway Steptoe Tester. A bunch of new faces again, aside from Steptoe. He's been a consistent in the top 4 and 5. Same with Akari Wright. He's been up here all night tonight as well, for the most part. Jeff Loray's been up here a few little bits, you know, from staying out. Nonetheless, Pace Truck's going to pull off. We're going to go back to green flag racing right here. Lorway on the front row. Needs a good launch. Here comes Steptoe on the inside, and Rogerson's all gone down the front straightaway. Akari Wright takes it 3 wide immediately. They're going to be 3 abreast, entering through turn 1. Look at Ryan Matthews, Dave Sharon further back right there. They're 3 wide. Caution is out. Caution is out. Why is the caution out? I'm not sure why the caution is out. Caution's already out there on the racetrack. I was wondering if Blake Hewlett was the cause of that caution. Maybe Ron Millam? No, it seems fine. No caution yet. I'm not quite sure why there was a caution out on the racetrack. I mean, I don't see anything that indicates that we need a yellow, that the track is unsafe for racing. Not sure if that was a yellow thrown by race control because the field wasn't packed up. Not quite sure. Nonetheless, that is a break for Drew Kuhn. He'll be back on the lead lap. Same with Blake Hewlett, who will be now only the 1 car a lap down. Brian Millam's like, come on, guys, stop going a lap down. I need to get these 6 laps I have back. This is a good break for the 28. They'll be able to repair that car some more. That's definitely hurting. Whoa, we're checking up all over the place down the back straightaway. Rogerson from the race lead is going to pit. Akari Wright's going to be your leader. Jeff Lorway from second is going to pit. Jason Steptoe from third is going to pit. Longworth's going to pit. Mark Kazin's going to pit. It's all over the place with fuel and everyone just trying to have the right time to come down pit road and such. See Ron Millam back there coming down. Oh, contact under the pace car. And Ted Gamble's front end is broken, it looks like. What in the world? What just happened? Take it in the cockpit view. What? I'm not sure. Maybe the wheel turned it off. Car is definitely broke. That left front is killed. I'm sure there's some heated words being said there. I'm so just confused though on what happened. And you're gonna see it from 18's point of view. He's just gonna get rammed into. Almost spun out. Not good for your tires. That is crazy. Under caution, Ted Gamble Jr. hits Eric Johnson. I'm just so perplexed on what just happened. And there's the 45, who's having a good night tonight, coming down pit road. And that's going to be probably a day ender. For the most part, at least have a good finish. That car looks killed. And through all of this, Terry Litwiller is 5th. The 21 is 6th. Lorway is still 7th after coming down pit road. And that track position flip that worked for the 71 car was having the most fuel now of everyone. And running inside the top 7. That's very good. 45 way missed his box. That's unfortunate for the 45. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe just didn't realize how close they were to the pack. Not quite sure. As we look at Akari Wright and Frank Chavez. I didn't even realize Frank Chavez is P2 right now. He is second on the racetrack. Some good pit calls from the 13 team. They say that 3 times fast. 13 team. That is a mouthful. That Monster Energy 13 car, Chevrolet, is P2 right now. Has a shot at taking the fight to the one of Akari Wright on the restart. Akari Wright, your race leader. As we go down the back straightaway here at Pocono. We've seen about every driver have their moment in some sort of way. See Brian Matthews catching up the field. Looks like a little bit more repairs got done to that 28 car. Good for him. But back to the front of the field. 20 to go when we go back racing till we get the stage caution. Everyone should be good on fuel. So, pace truck. Get out of the way. Get out of here. We want to see these cars back to racing. Right. Chavez, green flag. And Wright is going to have a monster restart. Tester's going to have help with him. Chavez all alone on the outside. He's side by side for third, further back. Frank Chavez got kind of teamed up on him from the 18 and the 22. We got a little tight there off of corner number 1, but he'll have the momentum. The draft down the long pond straightaway. And the 13 is going to get clear entering the tunnel turn. Here's the 21 to the 18's outside. On restarts, the outside can be the advantageous position to be in. You're seeing it right here. Eric Johnson's getting swallowed up from all this big draft help. 50 gets some clean air in that front end. Good driving from Steptoe there. Steptoe's going to give a big shove here to the back of the 23 of Dustin Rogerson. He might look inside here. Yes, there he goes. Gets the momentum. Passes one car, looks for the other, won't be able to get there. He'll just try and stay in line here. The 50 slides up, tries to take the air off the 18. It kind of works. Ooh, almost in defense. Robert Tester tracking down Akari Wright. These two have some history. Tester and Wright have made contact multiple times. Remember Kansas, remember Charlotte. Tester may feel, and I think he does feel, like he's been the bad end of both of those times. They're 3 wide entering the tunnel turn. Rogerson about cleared himself. Sharon on the top, Steptoe on the bottom. Rogerson through the middle. Whoa, into the fence almost. Well, he was. Rogerson with the help from the 18, his teammate, all this teamwork. Ruining my fun of 3 wide action. Not quite though, because Eric Johnson is still in the middle 3. Sharon's not letting up. They're going to be 3 off 1. This might not work out. Contact from Steptoe in the 18. They're still 3 wide. If they stay 3 wide through the tunnel turn, that might be bad. Johnson wisely kind of backs out. The 21 sends it so deep. Oh, they're going to be 3 wide off the exit again. This is insanity. Steptoe on the bottom. Big side draft to the 18. The 21 sends it off on the top lane. Steptoe's so close to clearing. He's clear. Clear up into P5. What a fight. Excuse me. Oh, my. Here comes Samuel Longworth now. Eric Johnson's not had a good restart. He's been swallowed up. And Frank Chavez has netted out the 3rd. Dustin Rogerson all up his rear bumper. But either way, what a run so far for the 13 with some track position to play with. Look at the 4 back there battling for 10th with Mark Kaz, and that could be big for that final point for the stage points. Obviously, Brian Matthews still has a lot of damage. 10 seconds off the paces. There's Frank Chavez at the track. The 23 is going to get to the inside. It's still so hard to pass. As looky here, battle for the race lead. Two guys who have some run-ins, and here comes Tester. He'll get a big run down the front straightaway trying to get past the one of Akari Wright. He'll have the momentum. Can he get inside or outside? That's going to be the question. He'll go inside. Going to be a hard pass to pass here with no help, and no one has help. He'll have the momentum, though, off the top right. Not a lot, though. Almost gets into the fence. They're going to draw even down Long Pond straightaway as the 71 gets by Longworth back there. They'll have a pretty decent advantage, will the one entering corner number 2, and there goes Robert Tester, though. But here comes a crossover, perhaps. Here comes Akari Wright back to the inside. Not quite. Couldn't get the run. He was so close to just diving it off in there. He'll have another great job getting to the outside, getting to the clean air. Looking to have momentum down the front straightaway. He does. Not sure if it's enough to get there. Steptoe up to 4th man. Jason Steptoe is so fast tonight. Wouldn't it be something if this kid went to victory lane? Steptoe running in 4th. Chavez still in the top 5. What a run for Frank Chavez. It is a shame that he wasn't able to race last weekend in Michigan. If this is how he runs at the bigger ovals, my oh my. And he could have fought for that playoff spot. I mean, just didn't have the opportunity to fight for it. As here comes David P. Sharon. He's running in the 6th position. Always way up the track. Got a little spook from the 18. Is he still somehow side by side? Great car control from the 21. You're not supposed to run that lane, ladies and gentlemen. And he's somehow making it work. Whoa, it's way loose. Kicking it out like a dirt car. And making it difficult. You see back here, for those drivers on the cut line, there's only one of them in position right now to get stage points. That is Jeff Warway, the man who came in with the point advantage. Warway gonna have a pretty decent corner there. Dave Sharon's still right there. As we watch this battle for the 10th position. And here we have these two still side by side for 6th place. This has been going on for like 8 laps now. This 21's just not giving an inch. And the 18 cannot get by him. He's giving him fits. And here comes Longworth again. He's going to try and take advantage. Doesn't side draft enough, though, I feel. Oh, he's still there. He's got great momentum. The 18 just had no momentum down the front straightaway. And he's clear. Longworth up in front of the 18. Get some dirty air to the front nose of the 18. He'll cross him over, though. With momentum. What does Mark Kazan do? Drew Kuhn, Larry Terra, those three playoff cars battling back here for 10th. You see this battle continue. Longworth on the outside trying to get by Johnson. Big side draft there off of the tunnel turn. That's going to slow down the 18. The 7's going to dive it off in there. Oh, he's going to clear him off of turn 3 here. Mark Kazan's the guy, the 18, who's going to have to watch for next. Frank Chavez running 5th still. Pretty good ways ahead of that. What is going on back here? 3 wide. Sharon slow down the front stretch. Longworth on the bottom. Whoa, the 18's all out of shape. The 7 trying to clear up. He's clear. What a move. Wow. Good pass. And Sharon, what a job defending. I mean, that car sat on pole. And that 21 car gave him fits for 9 laps. Just a mistake on his part is what drew that to happen. Otherwise, I don't think he would have gotten around him for a few more laps. And there's the 21 having some struggles now. This car might go the way of the dinosaur in terms of the handling. Bad. And the 71s reeled them in too, as the 4 and the 69 are battling back there. Blake Hewlett in 14th. Excuse me. Very slow, 31 seconds back. Brian Matthews, 25. He will make it to the stage break, though, on the lead lap, so all is good for that car. Robert Tester, though, has an 8/10 of a second lead, the biggest lead we've seen all night. Say that with some confidence. Whoa, Tester so close to hitting the wall right there. You see some more racing back here with Mark Kazin in the 21. The 21s were action-packed city right now. He's putting on a show. David P. Sharon still in the top 10. He's having a good night tonight. And he's putting on a fight right now. He's giving everyone fits around him. You see the 18, immediately once he cleared the 21, he gets to the back of Frank Chavez. The 18 had speed. He just could not get by that 21 car. Chavez defensive line entering the tunnel turn, not wanting to give up P5. Got a long way to go, though. As the Johnson looks inside, he's there. And clear up. All clear. Eric Johnson now into the top 5 over Frank Chavez. David P. Sharon still in 8th. And here comes the 4 car, Dave Sharon. Holding up is his brother David. And he might capitalize on all this. Coming to 8 to go next time by. This is huge for playoffs. Whoa, it's so tight off of 1. And here comes the 4. Big side draft. The final points paying position for the playoffs. They'll be tied then on points if he completes this pass. There's the 4 car. He's going to get to his inside, and the 21 might let him go. You know, and he is. Look at that. That's teamwork. If I've ever seen it, good job. And he's going to give him a big shove. Going to make it hard for the 71 to get clear. Some great strategy, possibly, if the 4 car and the 21 kind of thought of this in a way of holding up some cars for the 4 to pass. 21's done a great job, though. He's just done really good defending positions here. You see it right here. And the 4 car up to P9, and that 21 still. As Dustin Rogerson has started to close in the gap to the number 22 Ford Mustang. And he wants those he wants those points. He wants to lead the race. He wants to win a stage. All of it's important. And right now he's on the back bumper of the 22. This 23 is looking sporty. See Steptoe back there in 4th. Kind of not in the draft train. He's not able to do much right now. Doesn't have that big old speed to just go and run these guys down. I still do think that Jason Steptoe can win this race. He's not out of it. We're just past halfway point of this race. Rogerson up the racetrack trying to build a run. He's going to. Big ol' run off of corner number 4. 6 to go in the stage. Tester with a 2/10 of a second gap across the start-finish line. And Frank Chavez dropping back, and he's in the grass. No! Frank Chavez has hit the outside wall at some point. And he's bringing her to pit road. Hopefully the damage isn't too severe. Take a look at what happened here. Oh my. I think you all can see where this is going. Oh, what in the world? Inexcusable. Wow. I mean, that's a send. I'm not sure if that was just a really, really bad mistake, or he just kind of got fed up racing the 13. And that's for a good spot on the racetrack. Maybe just kind of, looks like he just maybe overcooked it a little bit. Angle doesn't make it look as bad. Let's look at the cockpit view. Yeah, it just looks like he overcooks it a little bit. Thought he'd go a little higher. I don't think that's intentional, but it cost the 13 of Frank Chavez. And I guarantee you Frank Chavez is pissed off. He probably thinks it's intentional. You see Eric Johnson in 5th. That Longworth car, as much as I think that move and mistake was not a good look, he is so fast tonight. He's not, I don't think, the greatest at making passes. I think this track position, we saw it there. The track position is going to help the 7 car, but he is good. Terry Litwiller trying to get some stage points tonight, trying to pass the 21. Every point could matter for the 69, and he knows it. Matthews just trying to stay on the lead lap. He's going to have to play some big games, or hope that these 3 all get out of the top 10 in points, or top 10 in the running order right now. Sharon's getting the most points. He's up in 8th. As Tester's your leader, as look at Blake Hewlett going a lap down. Drew Coon's not happy to see that. Drew Coon's way in the back as well. He's right there with Terry Litwiller in 11th, 13 seconds off the race lead. It's going to be hard for him to pass Blake here. Just a few laps remaining in this stage, just like it's hard for Dustin Rogerson to pass Robert Tester. Now, Tester's done a very good job since taking the race lead from the one of Akari Wright of just managing this gap, managing the clean air and the dirty air, and he's done a great job this evening so far as we hit lap 48 on the clicker. Into the closing portions of this race, coming almost to 30 to go. We're at 33 to go this time by. Tester leads by 3/10, entering 1. Jason Steptoe about 5 back. Might just be kind of saying, no reason to push it here. Just going to finish 4th in the stage. Eric Johnson's got a mirror full of the 7 of Samuel Longworth, who almost did the same thing he did to Frank Chavez right there. I feel so bad for Chavez. Misses last weekend, doesn't make the playoffs. Having a great top 6, top 5 run right now. And just gets cleaned out. I mean, just cleaned out from the 7. And unintentional or not, I mean, you got to feel for the 13. And the 7, he's going to learn from that, Always, he hounds the outside wall as I say that. Karma struck there. And, that's just part of being a race car driver. You got to learn from things, and hopefully for the 7's sake, got to give the room. As we see the 71 of Lorway up in 9th. He's doing what he should, though. He's beating 2 of the other guys. Litwiller's just not had the pace tonight. Matthews, ever since that wreck, has just not been the same. Obviously, he's about 44 seconds off the race lead. We're going to hope Brian Matthews does not go a lap down before we get this all said and over with. He's so slow right now. I'm not sure if he had a mistake with his damaged car. He's just trying to limp it around. As we are coming to the white flag for the end of the stage. Thankfully for Brian Matthews, it's Terry Litwiller into the top 10 right here. This is huge for the battle for 10th. They know how much it means. When Drew Kuhn, the lap car, is in the middle of it, hurting the 69. Drew Kuhn's not going to be able to stay there, though. The 69 is going to be clear up off of corner 3. Clear up, bud. You're there. He doesn't want the draft. Oh, big run from the 12 here. He's going to get a shove entering turn 1. Not quite there, though. Mark Kazan in 6. Longworth not on the race. Oh, there he is. He just had a little blinkage right there. Whoa, that's scary. That's scary sometimes. He's running here in 6, trying to get 5th before we get to the end of the stage from Eric Johnson, but he might lose 6 trying to fight too hard. Here comes Mark Kazan. But when it's all said and done, your stage winner is Robert Tester. Oh, we see a battle back there a little bit. They're side by side, Johnson, Kazan, and Longworth. Not sure who got it all when it's all said and done. You have to see once they all cycle. Looks like Mark Kazan beat Samuel Longworth there. So Dave Sharon gets 8. Those are 3 points. 2 points for the 71 and none for Litwiller and Brian Matthews. His Dunkin' Donuts 28 Ford Mustang's just been limping around tonight since that early incident. Ted Gamble out of this race. Dean Howard, Frank Chavez is down pit road. Ron Millam is 6 down. Kuhn and Hewlett 1 down apiece. Kuhn will be back on the lead lap as Hewlett was not able to retain that free pass position with how his race car is out there on the racetrack. As Robert Tester is going to lead the field to the pace car. A very kind of calm and unexciting, aside from the 3-wide racing we saw there with the 21, and that fighting, not much happened. Not much happened on the racetrack, but let's go to the bottom right of your screen and shout out Zero Torque Racing League's sponsors. Yes. Luminary Concept and Design. Go check them out. Tom's Tasty Taters and Walleye Fish Sandwiches. Bald Eagle Station, premium card content on YouTube. 2430 Esports. Sky Motorsports. W Energy, use code SQ187 at checkout for 10% off your order. Those are your sponsors and the people that help us every week tonight. On your bottom right, go support them. Go to W Energy, go support me, and use code SQ187, capital S, capital Q, 187. If you want to go get your premium energy drinks and energy fuel to get you through your day, I'm sure all of you want that, so go on over. So we look here at the number 7 machine. See Mark Kazan. What happened to Mark Kazan? Whoa! We have some beef. So it seems like something happened under yellow with Terry Litwiller and Mark Kazan. The 79 stopped on the racetrack. Then he gets back up into the rear bumper. And he's up this rear bumper for a minute. Wow. He's still up his bumper. We're through the entire corner. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure what preceded that for that response from the 79. Robert Tester wins the race off pit road. With the one of a car right has a horrible pit stop. What is going on with the 1 team? Very, very slow. Longworth up in the 5th. Dave Sharon 4th. What is going on? Is everyone just missing boxes or what? Or maybe they all have penalties, perhaps? Litwiller is 7th. He comes out pretty good out of all that. There's Johnson. Akari Wright still down pit road. Mark Kazan. There's the 21 of David P. Sharon. Brian Matthews is obviously going to sit on pit road for a minute with his damaged race car he's trying to fix up. There's Ron Millam rolling. Mark Kazan, I'm just confused why him and Akari Wright. Oh, there's Akari Wright. Akari Wright's back on the racetrack in 9th. David P. Sharon in 10th. Mark Kazan finally getting back rolling here. Hopefully for Brian, that car gets fixed up for him. It's sad to see him limp around for this whole race and not be competitive and have a shot. Oh, there you see a little bit more fixed on the fender there. Up the rear bumper of the 22 here. Brian Matthews is probably going to get rolling. There he goes. Let's look at the front. Oh, that car looks good now. Oh, yeah. Matthews' car looks all fixed up. Let's go battle it out, Matthew. Or excuse me, Brian, I guess. He wants to go out there and fight. He hasn't had the opportunity for almost half of the completed race so far, if not more, to actually be competitive. So here we go. The pace truck's lights are off. What is going on? More pit stops. Everyone trying to make it on fuel, hoping they can. You see the 4, the 18, the 69. Some of these drivers thinking playoffs. That's why the 71 stayed out, I think. I think he's thinking playoffs. I think these guys up here are probably thinking there's going to be another caution. Which, I mean, that wouldn't shock me. We've seen some cautions once they get back rolling around here on the racetrack. Robert Tester on the back straightaway. Down Long Pond straightaway. We're ready to get going. We are going to have 26 laps of green flag racing to end out the Zero Torque Racing League at Pocono. The tricky triangle has been tricky for some tonight. Blake Hewlett's been caught out. Ron Millam. Ted Gamble under caution got caught out. Dean Howard. Many others. Drew Kuhn finally back on the lead lap. Brian Matthews has been stuck with a damaged car for a long portion of this race. He's finally back out there with a car that looks to be ready to race. Here is Robert Tester, Dustin Rogerson, championship contenders. Jason Steptos had a good year. It's kind of like the Ross Chastain, I'd say, of this league. Just waiting for the win. And Samuel Longworth, he wants a win. Deep in the point standings. Pace Truck's going to pull to the left side of the racetrack. Tester, Rogerson to the green flag. And Rogerson with a launch. The 22 has a horrible getaway. Did Dustin Rogerson get a black flag for it? Rogerson in the lead. Oh, wow, the 22 almost does put the 7 in the fence, essentially. The 50 clear of the 7. Never mind. They're going to all get slowed up because of that, though. Into the fence goes the 7 pretty hard. He's going to lose a lot of momentum. Here comes Brian Matthews. What a restart. Almost up into the top 5, trying to get by Jeff Lorway. Playoff hopes still alive. Every one of them, 1 through 4, right on top of each other. Lorway way out of the gas, almost wrecking. They're 3 wide contact. The 4's around. No! Dave Sharon has crashed. Dave Sharon around on the back straightaway. Oh no! Blake Hewlett. Oh my God. Dave Sharon didn't have too much damage. And looks like Blake, I'm not sure what that was. So we're going to see the replay here. I think we all kind of saw that coming when they had the big checkup. And if you're the 4 car, you should probably leave a little extra space because you know they're going to go there. Oh, he just gets the hit check from 28. And, I mean, that's damage, don't get me wrong. But Blake Hewlett, I mean, the 4 car is... Oh, my. I have to watch from Blake's point of view to see if that was really an ARCA brake situation or, you know, more of a, hey, you know, I have to watch it from his point of view. I think that would be a bit more fair to Blake until we start pointing fingers on if he kind of ARCA braked him. He's still way off the pace here. And you're seeing cars wreck. And he woes it down. I mean, there's a left side of the racetrack. I'm not sure. It just looks like not very great wreck avoidance there. I mean, he does come down the racetrack, right? But there's this whole left access lane in the grass, and he just rides. Instead of that, he drives up the track where the car's spinning out of control. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily his fault, but some definitely better decisions could have been made. Whole left side, yeah, it's like the grass. I mean, the car's already broke. Either way, unfortunate for the 4 car, who had scored the most stage points of those drivers tonight. He's going to have to hope for some miracles to happen for him. I think that car is well and truly finished. Looks like he will go down a lap here as well. Brian Matthews, though, what a drive for him, man. And what a grueling race it's been for him. He sits 4th right now. What in the world? This is craziness. Under 25 to go. 24 now. It's showing we're not going to go green this time either, so we'll probably go green with 22 laps to go. So that's where we're at in terms of the racing left tonight. But Brian Matthews, man, what a fight. I mean, he was 40 seconds off the pace at the end of the stage. He has a rocketing restart, has a little hip check with the 4 of Dave Sharon. Unfortunately, 3 wide down the back stretch. Dave Sharon did hit the wall, but then gets clobbered by the 87, who's multiple laps down or a lap down. And what a restart. I mean, and then some other cars pit, and he's up in P4. I mean, and right now, he's in on the playoffs. Without a doubt, Brian Matthews and Jeff Lorway are in. Right now, Terry Litwiller and Dave Sharon are out. So if you're Dave Sharon, the goal here is to get back out on the racetrack, not lose too many spots or positions. He does have the 21 that could help him out here in a way of giving him a spot if he's going to play the ultimate team game and help him out. I mean, that would be pretty helpful. I mean, I don't know, nothing against the rules there. I mean, there's only 11 cars on the racetrack right now that are on the lead lap anyways. There's Drew Kuhn down pit road. Eric Johnson, Dustin Rogerson. 6th on back. The top 5 continue to stay out. I'm intrigued to see the fuel situation. So let's look tonight on the longest everyone's gone on fuel. Let's look at that pit strategy here on your bottom right of the screen. Looks like 24 laps. 29 for Longworth there is the longest anyone has gone on fuel. Right now, that's kind of where we're at right now. But all these cautions are helping these guys, especially like Robert Tester, the 7 and the 1. The 28 and the 71 did come down pit road. Oh, no. Oh, so yes, they came down pit road. The two who are... So Longworth has not... Okay, that's not right. The 29 laps. Sometimes I swear this thing. Either way, the top 3 have the least amount of fuel out of everyone else in this field. Brian Matthews has the 2nd best along with the 71. Jason Steptoe has the best fuel economy out there in the best track position. And well, he's running in 6th. One good restart for this 50 car, and I've said it all night. He's one of these guys you have to watch for. He was quick in qualifying. He's been quick all night. He's led laps. Looked like he's in control at some points. The guy's just like the Ross Chastain in Cup Series, man. He is just waiting for this win to come through and break through. Be a big contender when we get to his round of the playoffs. Robert Tester, though, he's going to have a big problem with his rival on his outside of Akari Wright. Right there. The 22 did not have a good restart last time. So we're going to have to see if it's a little better this time. Pace Truck's going to pull off. Green flags in the air. A good launch for the 22, but another good launch for the 1 of Akari Wright. Both of them clear the rest of the field. The 50 car gets to the outside of Brian Matthews. They're going to be 3 wide entering turn 1. Matthews just has to think, I need to stay ahead of the 71. He did get stage points, though. Whoa, Jason Steptoe almost gets cleaned out. Here comes the 28. No momentum for Steptoe. Here comes Matthews on the inside. Not quite clear, but we'll have the bottom entering the tunnel turn with a big advantage. Clear. So there you go. Matthews clear the position. Can he hold it? Crossover move looking. No can do. Here comes Johnson further back. Johnson knows he needs to get through this traffic. Can't have the last kind of restart where he just did not go anywhere and lost ground to absolutely everyone around him. Sharon still down pit road in the 4 car. Blake Hewlett on the racetrack. Tester continues to lead down the front straightaway as Matthews and Steptoe continue to fight back here for 4th. Steptoe just needs to clear him. He's like, oh, I can taste it right here. He's so close. Big side draft, though, coming maybe at the end of the straightaway. That could help him. Eric Johnson, though, behind him. Not a car you want to get up here. Oh, he's going to be there on the inside. Whoa, Matthews way up the track. And that opens the door for Steptoe. Johnson tries to look inside. He's not going to get there. That's going to really hurt the corner from the 18, it looked like. Really unsettled the car. The 1 didn't have a good corner because here comes the 50 car. Big run And everyone gets all checked up. The 28 in the fence. The 50 of Jason Steptoe looks inside of Akari Wright. Longworth up to P2. Wright on the outside. Oh, he's clear. Steptoe is clear. Not quite. Maybe. Can he take it? He's there, and he's past Akari Wright for third. Wright falls back to fourth. Litwiller back there way behind everyone else. Not sure what happened with him, but Steptoe up to P3. Look at Johnson all over the rear bumper of the one of Akari Wright. Matthews, Wright, really dropping like a rock here. I'm not sure what it is. What happened to Akari Wright to have this big of a speed drop? He's clear. Yeah, the 18's clear up. Steptoe cannot get passed by the 18 of Johnson if he wants to win this race. It's Samuel Longworth all up the back bumper here of Robert Tester. Be patient here, Samuel. Long way to go. Still 19 laps. Don't make a big enemy yet. Into the fence. Same with the 50 car. We got to keep it off the fence, guys. That kills momentum. It's going to bring the 18 into this fight a little bit more. He'll have big momentum down Long Pond. And a good corner setup there for the 50 car. It's going to give him dirty air off exit. Going to make him have to lift. Seems like Akari Wright has stopped the bleeding as Brian Matthews actually has side by side now with Mark Kazin, and Jeff Lorway still right behind him one spot. It might not be enough to beat the 71, but it is enough to beat Terry Litwiller, I think. He doesn't want to find out though. Longworth has lost a little ground from last time by. There's Frank Chavez down pit road. Steptoe right ahead of the 18. They're both closing in on the front two. He just keeps doing that. Getting pushed up the racetrack. And here comes, that opens up the door for Eric Johnson. Some door banging down Long Pond. They're going to be side by side entering the chicane. The 50 car is just going to let him go. There's no reason to fight this right now. This is just going to slow both of us down. Steptoe right here in fourth. He can taste a victory. He just knows they still have to pass Longworth and Tester, right? There's still a long way to go in this race. Longworth, long way. You get that? Just a good pun there. Either way, excuse me. Longworth is right there. Johnson and Steptoe still have to close a 7/10 of a second gap to the front two. As Terry Litwiller further back in the playoffs. Matthews has not had good long run speed. Great restart speed. But the run speed, the actual pace of this car is showing. And here comes the 69. He's back in the playoffs. Terry Litwiller fights back on Brian Matthews. And the heartbreak for Brian Matthews right now is palpable. He spent all race battling his heart out, trying to get this car back to being competitive. And he's side by side with one of his rivals. And Litwiller, I believe, finished 10th in the stage. Or no, he didn't get stage points. Remember, the 21 kept him from stage points. So right now, whoever finishes ahead of the other is going to be into the playoffs. This is big. As you look, Johnson has passed Steptoe. Oh, he already did that a minute ago, excuse me. But they are starting to close in the gap to the front two. Litwiller looks to be ahead there. And these two are just going to be side by side right next to each other. They're losing a bunch of time to everyone else. So this is going to be these two in a little draft train. The 4 car is still down pit road, not in this race. Kazin is 7th. Jeff Lorway's had a great night. Good execution, good calls on the pit box. Running 8th right now. And he's going to get past here, but nonetheless, he's ahead of everyone else he needs to beat tonight. As look at the 7, he's starting to close in as he disappears there. He's going to get a big run, it looked like, though, off of corner number 3. Ooh, we got a little close to the wall there. Going to be a 4-car fight. I mean, and don't count out Dustin Rogers, and he's coming, too, with a fast race car. I think it's between, really, 6 guys. I think, don't count on the car, you're right, in 6. You could have a good restart here if caution comes out. The 22 looked like he had a pretty poor corner there. He's losing time down Long Pond. The 7 and the 18 especially. That 18 is the car you want to watch for. He's very, very quick. Don't know where the 7's at right now. And the 18 didn't know either. I am so shocked they don't know. They don't wreck sometimes with the blinkage. The 7 of Longworth trying to hold on to P2. He's having such a good night. And if you're the 50 of Jason Steptoe, you got to get by one of them here. The 18 closes the door. Big run coming from every one of these guys on everyone. Do you take it, or are you going to be patient? Patience is key, and patience pays off there. If Longworth can just get another good run down Long Pond and have the 22. Oh, both of them in the fence, and the 18 had to check up big time. Here comes Jason Steptoe. Oh, that was almost big. Longworth's not going to give in, though. Crazy corner. Here comes Rogerson. Big run. He'll get to the outside of the 50 and the 18. Big shove from Steptoe, though, into Derek Johnson. And Rogerson looks like he lost the front end a little bit. And while all these four are fighting, Robert Tester's pulling away as we hit 13 to go at Pocono. Johnson looks like he might get shuffled out here with the draft on the outside behind him. And we're going to see it right here. I think he's going to get shuffled here. It's going to be hard for the 18 to get in line. Clean air to the 50 car, though. In the fence a little bit. It's all this fence banging. All these pancakes to the fence are hurting these guys. And every one of these cars behind Robert Tester, I think, is quicker than him in one way or another. None of them, aside from maybe Dustin Rogerson, has been mistake-free as the 7 continues to miss the tunnel turn. Steptoe needs to have a good corner. He needs to pass both of these cars. What he needs to do is pass the 50, the 23 cars. He's so close to clearing the 7. The 7's in the fence. And the 50's going to get a shove from the 18. Clear up both of them. And the 7 of Longworth starting to fall back now. He's going to look to the inside of Eric Johnson. Oh, he spins Eric Johnson. What a save. Eric Johnson keeps the yellow from flying. And Longworth for the second time tonight makes contact with someone in the left rear. Not a good look tonight. A lot of aggression, a lot of speed. Needs to just refine it. And that allows Akari Wright to get by both of them. Johnson all the way back to 7th. He's not going to have a chance at winning this race. Even with a yellow, it'd be hard. I think a yellow is what's going to be needed to happen if Robert Tester is going to lose this race. Or the fuel situation. Does Robert Tester have enough gas to make it to the end? Man, Rogerson might get there anyways and pass him. Steptoe's not looking like he has the pace right now. 54.7. He was 7/10 slower last time by than Dustin Rogerson. Only 3/10 off of Robert Tester. As here we go. Battle back here. Mark Cavs and Samuel Longworth. And if Eric Johnson gets back to him. Now, do we see some fireworks as Terry Litwiller has made his way up to 8th. Great finish off to this race. Jason Steptoe wanting to come up here and talk in the broadcasting booth with me tonight. He's going to get a big shove right here. Oh, never mind. He gives him the outside. What the heck? Akari Wright around the outside of the 50. We have a battle for the lead, though. They are side by side almost entering turn 1 with 10 to go. And I think a caution would make this race absolutely insane. Because the tires are pretty worn out here. They're about a second or so slower than their best laps. As there you see it, Eric Johnson back up to 6th, past Longworth. Rogerson just continuing to be in the tire tracks of the 22. Not a good corner again for the tunnel turn for the 22. Tester looking to keep this advantage. If he loses the lead, it's over. Whoa, Rogerson way up the racetrack. That's going to be bad news bears. Down that front straightaway, he's going to lose a lot of time. Worst corner to have a big lift like that. Said it all night. If a caution does come out, or if Tester can't make it on fuel, everyone's going to be moved up a spot. Not a big deal for anyone in the playoff hunt. And really not a big deal aside from Dustin Rogerson adding another win this season to his already 2 or 3 he's had. But Akari Wright, I mean, I'm not sure what happened with the mid-run speed, but now he's looking like he's kind of started to get that all back. Now he's 2 seconds, though, off the race lead. Coming to 8 to go, it's going to be hard for him to run these two down unless they get to fighting. And they just haven't gotten side by side to really pull in other drivers. He needs to just gain a 10th or 2 each lap and hope they start to pull each other back. Big run down the front stretch. Dustin Rogerson looks inside into 1. Whoa, a big old block from the 22. Yeah, that was aggressive. And those kind of, maybe not side-by-side moments, but aggressive moves are what gave Akari Wright 2/10 in that corner. Didn't even look like a good corner for the 1 car, as Kazin's going to pass Steptoe further back as he gets the inside in the tunnel turn. Rogerson right in the tire tracks as we're going to come through turn 3. We're going to come to 7 laps to go. Can we see another last lap pass or last lap battle for the race win? Rogerson won it last week at Michigan. Can he go back to back? As we see the 21 off the racetrack, he gives the leaders plenty of room. Rogerson again to the inside. Cannot let him clear up. Whoa, big crossover. Robert Tester. What a move. Back to the race lead. Tester loses it, gains it back. Akari Wright's going to have a bit of a help here with the tow from the 21 car. It's going to help him a little bit. I don't think the 1 car has enough time to catch him. Even if they start door banging the whole rest of the way, it's going to be hard for him. Longworth looks like he might lose 7th to the 69 car. Really falling back late in the run here. And some front end damage on the right front. Tester through turns 3. He'll go to the front straightaway, coming to 6 to go with a 1/10 advantage. This is some good racing yet again. Do we see a block? Oh, he stays patient this time. He doesn't dive it off in there. He's going to look to the outside to try and take the race lead. Didn't really work out too well, though. Tester gains about a 10th through 1. Rogerson definitely is quicker. Like I said there, if he clears the 22 there and stays in front of him, he wins this race and he pulls away most likely. But Tester is doing everything right here. The aero blocking. We saw these two make contact, or not a contact, but they were right by each other late in the race. Last week at Michigan, Tester ended up wrecking. Rogerson went on to win. Back-to-back weeks, we see the same two faces. Back-to-back weeks, will we see the same result? 5 to go. Does Tester have enough gas? Does Rogerson have enough fight in him to get by the 22? Johnson's going to pass Steptoe for 6th, or excuse me, 5th. Steptoe back to 6th. He's bleeding spots here at the end of this run. Longworth has been passed by Terry Litwiller for 7th place. Seeing Jason Steptoe here. See a battle back here. Lower way to the inside of the 7 of Longworth. Drew Coon's going to come out of this race with a top 10 finish. Looks like Brian Matthews. I'm not sure if the car's bad or he's just not liking this place. 24 seconds off the pace, though. Maybe still has some damage. Not quite sure. Forward laps to... Oh, hard! That was pretty hefty contact. Even if it didn't hurt the race car, it's going to kill the run. It didn't hurt it too bad, to be honest. He'd say he's about 4/10. Blake Hewlett up there. This could be a big thing. Where will they... Oh, no. Blake's going to pull over. Good job from Blake there to pull over. And get out of the race leader's way. So it's between these two. But I don't know. I think Robert Tester has this all wrapped up. He comes through the tunnel turn one more time. Going to come to 3 to go. As Jeff Lorway looking to get up to 8th. Yeah, remember the 7 just sends it off in there. He's just like no cares. Seems like everyone else is just really scared to enter the tunnel turn. And coming to 3 to go, 4/10 is the advantage. And don't count Rogerson out. He was in the position last week and defended. Can this week he attack and get the checkered flag? Or he'll be like Eric Johnson last week, not have enough time, not make the right moves, and just come a few inches short of the victory. The 23 almost into the fence again off of the turn 1 straight. He's going to still gain down the back stretch or down Long Pond. And now through the tunnel turn, he has to have a good tunnel turn. It was a very sporty tunnel turn, I'd say. But he gives it up on exit. Thankfully, this is probably the shortest of the straightaways, but he's going to lose 1/10 of a second right there. He's going to go back to 4/10. He needs to realize, calm down. There's still 2 laps of racing. You just need to be there to have a chance. Cannot give the 22 like he's got this wrapped up. 4/10 is not a big gap. Down the front stretch. 23 looking for some clean air on the front end of his race car. If he can just keep it off the fence here, he does. He'll roll momentum down Long Pond. That gap's down to 3/10. No mistakes though. One more mistake and the race is over. The 23 will not get there if he makes any more mistakes. Solid tunnel, but the 22 just had an amazing tunnel turn, to be honest. Not much is looking like Dustin Rogerson is going to be able to do here. Coming to the white flag. That's what Robert Tester wants to see no restarts. If Tester has enough gas, it's his race. White flag in the air for Robert Tester. Last week's disappointment, this week's triumph. Through turns 1, he's got a 5/10 of a second lead over Dustin Rogerson. Almost lost this lead in this corner just about 6 laps ago. He did a perfect crossover, and now the cars come back to life. The gap grows 2/10 in that corner. Tester's got it made as he keeps 2 more corners perfect. A new paint scheme for the 22, and maybe a return to victory lane. He loses 2/10 though. Oh, 23 is giving it all he's got, but it's not enough. Tester into turn 3 for the final time tonight. Robert Tester on the bottom. All clear. No more waiting for the checkered flag. Robert Tester is going to win at Pocono. Robert Tester winning at Pocono over Dustin Rogerson. Akari Wright. Eric Johnson gets by Mark Kazan at the end. Steptoe 6th. Here, Drew Kuhn. Oh, Drew Kuhn wrecks in the last lap. Brian Matthews might not be able to take advantage of it. It's too far back. And your 2 drivers to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Terry Litwiller and Jeff Lorway. Your 2 eliminated. Brian Matthews and Dave Sharon. Tough nights for both those guys. But the 71 did everything right all day, and Terry Litwiller just ended this race strong. I'm not sure if there's some beef there or what's going on with Mark Kazan's machine. Robert Tester in the teal 22 Pennzoil machine. He's going to come and burn him down. A popular win in the garage. See everyone going up and congratulating the 22. It's been a long time since this guy's been in victory lane this year. Only 1 win this season, but he's going to do another win burnout tonight. Robert Tester on the front straightaway of Pocono picks up his 2nd win of the season. Happy for him. It's been a long time for the 22 to get back in the victory lane. Been so close. Last week's heartbreak. And just like I said, this week's triumph. This is all sponsored by W Energy. victory burnouts. My oh my. What a race we had here today. The early portions of this race were just absolutely chaotic. We saw some cautions, some crazy racing. The end here was kind of calm. Aside from the 7 taking out some cars almost. We saw the battle for the playoffs was really fun. And then about the end there, we saw Brian Matthews was dropping back. The 4 was out after the contact. Nonetheless, a great race tonight. Let's get our third place finisher, Akari, right in here, folks. Akari Wright, I got you up here in the broadcast, brother. What is up, my man?
Hello.
Talk me through your night, man. You had a really good night tonight. I mean, you led some laps. You looked solid. What more did you need to beat the 23, the 22, and maybe even the 18 if you didn't get almost spun by the 7?
I needed skill today. Pocono is my worst track, I would say. I absolutely hate Pocono. I practiced this race all week long and just I can't find speed like Robbie or Dustin. But I will say, me and Robbie are on that same pit strategy there. Faked in and went out, and I think he ran out on the crossing the line. I ran out maybe after turn 1. After the race was over, so we definitely played that fuel strategy. But man, Dirty Air was a killer today, and like I said, just no speed today in the car, but hey, came in, led some laps, and still finished third overall.
For having no speed, you say, in the race car, you still end up third, 5 seconds clear of fourth. So I don't think it was completely out of the realm that you could have won this race. I mean, at the end there, we thought you were tracking him down. It seemed like at the end of the runs, those 2 cars were just the best cars, and they could actually make their way through the field. But nonetheless, tonight, you had a great points night. You're going to enter these playoffs are starting. You're not at risk of elimination yet, but nonetheless, you're having a lot of momentum entering this end of this stretch of the season. What does this do for you as we enter the playoffs where you might be eliminated and as you fight for your chance at a title?
Yeah, coming up, I've got to race my way into the championship 4. But right now on points, we're doing pretty good. And thanks to, I don't know who it was, but whoever wrecked Eric, they're on those last set of corners. They gave me some points because I was definitely not fast. I think we would have had a 6th, 7th place car if that didn't happen. And after that, Jason was falling off, and I was able to pass him no problem. So we're going to try to get this car in a victory lane. We've got some super speedways coming up. I believe Brian did not make it through this race, and it'll be good with having a teammate to help you there on these super speedways coming up.
Yeah, Brian unfortunately had a rough night tonight, man. He got some early damage, wasn't his doing, and it seemed like the pace since then was just not in his favor. Terry Litwiller and Jeff Lorway do advance. Him and Dave Sharon are out. But like you said, I mean, you have that teammate now who has nothing to lose and will just help you out through any plate races we have now for the rest of the season. Before I let you go, my man, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, anyone you want to call out before I let you go?
Yeah, of course. Thank you to Ford, Luminary Concept. They're on the car every week. NVIDIA, everybody that makes this car possible. The team, pit crew did amazing tonight. Even though I slid through the pit box, my first mistake in pit road this season, slid through the box, had to back it up, but still came out in a good position to make the run. Thank you to the fans for watching. Hopefully the race was fun for you guys, because it was fun for me trying to race with no car. And thank you, Gage, for even broadcasting every week.
Thank you, man. And the man who says he hates this place and has no speed, your third place finisher, ladies and gentlemen, Akari Wright. Thank you, man. You have a great night.
You too. Thanks, Gage.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Let's get P2 finisher Dustin Rogerson in here. What a great night that was, and what a good run for a guy who said he can't stand this place. I love Pocono. I don't know what he's talking about. This place is a great track. But let's get Dustin Rogerson up and in here. Dustin, you're up into the booth, buddy. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, buddy.
What is up, my man? Let me talk me through your night tonight. You end up second. You won last week, the last time we were out of Michigan's, but tonight you end up being the bridesmaid. What more did you need for the 22 there?
I needed some clean air. I was able to get to him, and then I just couldn't make it stick because he would cut down, like running his line, and then the way my line was, every time I would get to the back bumper, or what felt like was close enough, it would just push tight, and I'd have to get out of the gas or I'm in the wall. So hats off to him for doing a good job. Like, Robbie Hill ran a phenomenal race tonight, and he needed a win to help boost his confidence. So, I mean, he's had some bad luck this season, so it's good to see him finally get another one.
Yes, it is good to see Robbie back in victory lane. It's been a long time coming, but nonetheless, tonight, did it seem like the dirty air was more of a factor late in the runs? Because we saw early in the run, it didn't seem to be that bad. When the tires get hot, when the tires get more worn out, is that when you drivers out there kind of struggle more with the race cars?
Yeah, if you could make the pass like after like cautions with the tires being cooled down, that was more ideal. Like that's why I was able to move through the field a couple times. But when I'd get up to Robbie, my tires were just hot, I think, and surprisingly, it was pushing tight, and I'm used to driving a loose car here because I mostly run open setups, but yeah, it was tough to drive for sure, but nonetheless a lot of fun. Appreciated Kari running me clean there. He could have blocked me a couple times, but he didn't. So hats off to him too. He had a good race.
Without a doubt, you and him had a good race, but did it seem like track position as well was the big thing tonight? Because I know you said it's hard to pass, so is that why we saw so many different fuel strategy? I know Robbie said he ran out, and so did Akari right there at the end of the race. So were you hoping that the 22 was going to run out of gas, or did you know in the car that he was probably going to make it to the end?
Well, he was kind of sandbagging in the chat. He was saying he don't know if he's got enough. He ended up crossing the start-finish line with one to go with 2 laps left, and I kind of figured that's what he was doing because it's, even though we're teammates, it's still a competition, right? Everybody wants to win. So, but yeah, that was my strategy early on but you never know what you're going to get. You could get a caution, you could get green flags. That's why I elected to start from pits so I could save that extra lap of fuel and hopefully only one stop. If it would have went green, we would have seen some guys doing 2 stops there in that first stage, and that didn't play out, but still ended up getting through the field and up front, and really nice for this Pinnacle Wraps machine for another podium finish.
Without that Pinnacle Wraps machine, look, get out there again. I love that paint scheme, but nonetheless, going into this playoffs, we saw 2 guys eliminated tonight, Matthews and Dave Sharon. But you're coming up with your fight for the playoffs. Does this P2 give you more momentum after winning last week, or does it just seem like, well, we didn't win, so we didn't get the job done tonight?
Well, the playoffs, the way that they're set up, you don't really gain points unless you win a stage or you win a race, and so there's 1 point on the line for the stage. There's 5 points on the line for the win. So Robbie took all of them tonight. So there ain't going to be no fluctuation, and it's all elimination style. So come down to the last race, I'm probably not going to make it. So I'm probably out of it. So it's all about where you finish and who you finish ahead of in that last race. So I don't count myself as a championship contender right now unless something drastic changes and I can run that last race.
Well, man, I hope to God you can run the last race, because you are a contender without a doubt. Just with not being there, it's hard to be a contender if you're not there. But nonetheless, man, before I let you go tonight, the typical thing, you got sponsors. Anyone you'd like to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, man, as always, the usual. All the teammates, each and every week, we're talking in the Discord. We're bouncing ideas off of each other. So good to have all my guys along board with the 0X team. Youngblood Racing, Snowbelt Industries, Taylor Construction, and cannot forget about Drew Kuhn. Go follow him on Facebook /ePinnacleWraps. He'll get your car made right, because when you run a Pinnacle, you drive distinction, man. That's all I got.
Without a doubt, man. Dustin, your P2 finisher, everyone. Have a great night, man.
Thanks, Gage. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Alrighty, everyone. Let's go get Robert Tester into this chat. Let's go get him. Let's get him down here. Oh. Robert, you're up into the broadcasting booth, my friend. What is up, my man? You're in victory lane at Pocono. What's up?
Oh man, not much. Just surprised I pulled it off. That was a tough one there at the end.
You were talking to me before the race tonight for any, and you were saying how this place is a good racetrack, and tonight you showed it was a really good track for yourself. You almost got past there with a few laps to go from the 23. Talk me through the defense from him, because Dustin was all up the rear bumper there. Talk me through your great fight at the end there and a clean battle with the 23 there at the end of the race.
Oh yeah, just trying to use dirty air as much as I can. I was running 5th gear up until lap 70, 71. Then I started downshifting again because I was one lap good to the flag. Like I was doing donuts and I ran out of gas. That's like how close it was. It was like 0.6 with fuel. So yeah, just he sent a good he sent it in turn 1 and I crossed him up. That was a good send by him.
Yeah,
He just couldn't get it to stick.
I thought right there was the pass for the win, but nonetheless, you did a great job at getting that crossover. We saw a lot of guys try to do the same thing you did tonight when the tunnel turn or in that corner. No one could seem to really do it. You were the only car I saw out there to actually complete the crossover tonight. But nonetheless, Robbie, what was the strategy coming into this race? We know Pocono is probably the most strategic racetrack on the calendar on any league or any racing series, like the Real Cup series or anything. So was your strategy? What was your strategy heading into the most strategy-heavy race of the season?
And just saving enough fuel for the last stint. If it goes green, just making sure I have enough fuel. And just staying out of trouble, really. Like I got some front end damage early on in the race whenever Sharon 2 bounced off the wall and I had nowhere to go. I just went to his rear. Gave me like 25 seconds worth of damage, and the car felt awful. You need that downforce. I had no front downforce.
Yeah, I seen that earlier in the race, and I saw the front end damage. I'm like, there's no way that little bit of damage is killing that car, but you just kept going from, I think, like 6th or 7th, and you went backwards, and I think the caution helped you out, and you got that car all fixed up. But nonetheless, I mean, a good rebound from yourself. I mean, that's a tough thing to battle back from. And you come through and you take the victory tonight, my man. What does this do for you for confidence? I mean, you won the stage. You win the race in rather dominant fashion. And I know the 23 was there, but I mean, you did a good job defending. You didn't look like he had you there in the last 5 laps. So what does this do for confidence and your second win of the season? We're going into the end of the playoffs here. And I mean, these are all these bonus points you racked up tonight. I believe you racked up 6. So what's this do for you as we head into the closing stretch of the season?
Just got to keep it clean rest of the season, try to get a 1 or 2 topping points so I'm good, so I don't have to race in the top 4. Just want to make sure I'm in there, lock it up. But yeah, this is huge for confidence. Like there for a while, it's just like nothing can go right. Wrecking, like getting caught on pit cycle with a yellow, going down a lap and having to do all that. Finally, it went right tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt, the luck for you. I mean, I think, Charlotte, you got caught out 2 or 3 times with the pit cautions. I mean, it seems like bad luck finds the 22, but tonight, bad luck didn't find the 22 tonight, and it's looking like that. Maybe that tide's finally turning. Maybe we're finally turning that corner for you tonight on the luck side. I know last week, losing the car with the dirty air and how that car reacts in Michigan, wrecking out from the lead. I mean, that had to be a big confidence drainer, and tonight you bounced back in the best way possible, victory. But nonetheless, man, before I let you go tonight, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for before we end up the stream, end up the race tonight?
I want to shout out my teammates, everyone there, my family, for allowing me to race virtual cars every night. Or not every night, but for the league. And I just want to thank everyone for coming out for the league. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have a league. And I want to thank Pinnacle Wraps and all of them over there. Yeah, man, I think that's it. I just want to thank you, too, for putting on a great broadcast. It's been awesome.
Well, thank you, man. I try sometimes. I think tonight, I don't know what, it was my throat and mouth are just really dry, and I was coughing up a storm, talking over myself. I don't know. I'm just all over the place tonight. But nonetheless, I mean, thank you, man.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh, without a doubt. I love broadcasting for you guys. You guys do put on a great show. I mean, the finishes here are freaking amazing. Like, you guys put on a show at the end of this race. And I know this race didn't end with a big door-banging finish like last week, but it was still fun. Still had a battle there at the end with 5-7 to go, And, Robbie, you put on a great show here at the league, and I love all these guys. I hope they keep continuing to learn. Saw some more of the more younger driver mistakes, but they're going to learn from that, and I hope they grow better from it. But nonetheless, man, thank you for putting on a great show, and thank you for being our winner tonight and putting us a great show on the racetrack.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. Bye, man.
All right, bye. Have a good night.
You as well. All right, everyone. That was Robert Tester, your race winner here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. It was a fun race tonight. I mean, we saw, like I said, a really fun finish, and we've been kind of spoiled, honestly, here in the Zero Torque Racing League. We've had some amazing finishes throughout the entire season. They've just been so goddamn good. I tell you what, we have just had so much fun finishes. Unfortunately, though, we have to talk about the playoffs and the two guys who are not going to continue on tonight. That's Dave sharing the 4-car and Brian Matthews in the 28 Ford Mustang. Both of them will not continue on. Terry Litwiller, Jeff Lorway did what they had to do. They make it through to the next round of the playoffs. So the top 10 guys. Good for those two guys. They drove a great race, especially Jeff. He drove a great race from start to finish. Strategy calls, aggression, making moves. He did a great job to get an 8th place finish tonight. I mean, that was, I think, maximum he could have done tonight. Maybe could have stayed ahead of the 69, but 69 was coming on strong there at the end, and Terry had a great race. A great night tonight, and a really fun one. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. It would be really nice of you to do that. I would appreciate it. Go to dubbyenergy.com, and at checkout, use code SQ187, capital S, capital Q, 187, for 10% off of your order. Thank you all for watching.